So when you're running a business and you're trying to set a price for the product or service that you're offering your customers, it's one of the most difficult things to do. And the simple reason is you don't want to set your price too high so that you're out of the market and any potential customer looks at you like you're crazy. But on the flip side, you don't want to set your price too low so that you're not making any kind of money for your business, and that way you just keep kind of, spinning your wheels and you're not getting anywhere with business growth. So what I wanted to do in this video is talk about pricing for your business and how to justify your price based on your expertise, based on your education, based on your company history and your reputation. So that way you're setting a correct price, and it's a great way to help you overcome any kind of price objections from your potential customers, because that sometimes isn't as big of an obstacle as you think it is. So there's something in business called the value proposition, and that pretty much says to your customers why they should do business with you and why they should be paying the price that you are offering, why your business or your product or your service is of value to that potential customer based on the pricing that you pick. It is one of the strongest ways for you to create a more justifiable price that would go to your potential customers. So, for example, for Numero Web Solutions, one of our value propositions is that we employ local Canadian writers and local Canadian web developers and web designers that create our company's website, that create our company's content, so that way we're producing quality over quantity. So a lot of companies might use overseas writers, they might use, some AI right now to do full writing. We, for example, have somebody named Stephanie who handles all of our editorial. We have writers named Mo, we have writers named John, Tina, and they're helping us write the actual content. They're doing the research. They're having interviews with our clients. We have Jason and Sammy on board as our senior developers. They're the ones that are creating the website. So for me to go to my customers and say, why should you be using us to create your website or to develop your landing page or to develop your content strategy? I can introduce you to those actual human beings that are doing the work, that have extensive training and experience. I can show you previous websites that we've done. I can show you testimonials from our current and past clients, so that way you can see the reputation that we have and the products that we're delivering. So when I'm developing my price strategy, I develop it on those factors. I'm not creating a website just using some sort of template web builder that anybody can plug in from their basement. I don't have my nephew working on my company's websites in his basement while he's away from school or anything like that. I don't have any kind of chat bot or any kind of bot using any kind of prompts to pull some potentially inaccurate content for my customers. And therefore, I can set my price accordingly. So for my business, there are a lot of companies that are less expensive than Numero for web design, web development, SEO, social media. But when we do the work, I can have somebody behind that work, not only creating some unique content and unique strategies for my customers, but they're also double checking it. They're doing a lot of reviews. They're doing a lot of editing. Emily, who handles my social media, is constantly researching our customers' competition and trying to figure out new and exciting ways for their social strategies to be implemented to get them more followers, to get them more engagement. That's my value proposition. So when you are creating your value proposition, you need to really dig deep down and figure out what you can offer your clients that no one else can. So rolling that value proposition back to your pricing, don't be afraid when setting your pricing to set what you think you are worth. There are a lot of companies that will go and start immediately discounting their prices, even though they might have a really solid experience level, they might have great education, they might have some of the top-notch equipment, but yet they're afraid that they're going to lose business based on the fact that they might be priced higher than somebody else. Don't be shy to justify your pricing. You know, it reminds me of an old story that I had heard years ago about there was a ship, a multi-million-dollar cruise ship that they couldn't get running. For some reason, the engine wasn't working. They had some people look at it. They couldn't figure out what the problems were. They did diagnostics on it. There's no rhyme or reason why they could not get this cruise ship out of the harbor so that they can start this cruise. And they had heard about this person who was able to fix ships. He cost $50,000 just to show up to be able to fix this problem, but he would guarantee his results. So of course, finally the ship company decides we're going to, suck it up and we're going to drop $50,000 on this guy. He shows up. They bring him down the engine room. He looks at the engine. He listens to the engine. He takes his hammer and he knocks on one part of the engine. They start the engine after he does that, and lo and behold, it starts. And they say, well, we're not paying $50,000 because you just came down here and just knocked it in that spot. And he goes, no, you're paying $50,000 because in the 40 years I've been doing this, I know where to knock. And that's part of where you can set your pricing and your value. Look, if you've done 20, 30 years of schooling, you've had experience in doing things, and you can get something done fast, and you can get something done well, and you can get something done where your clients are happy and you're giving quality work and a quality product and a quality end result. If it takes you 5 minutes to do, and you can say, look, that 5 minutes, I'm going to create something for you that is going to be worth a lot more than you're paying for it, and you can justify you charging $5,000 for that, then do it. I think a great example of this is a haircut. You can go to a barber, and it takes around the same amount of time for a guy to get his haircut, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes the most, depending on what kind of conversation you're getting with that person. But anyway, you can go to a barber shop where it is maybe $10. It could be a student, it could be somebody brand new, or you can go to a barbershop and you can pay $50 or $60. But what's the value? What's the difference? Well, first of all, the end result, the haircut. Is it going to be a good haircut? Is it going to be a bad haircut? But let's take that equation out of it, because let's just say that there is a barber who is a $10 barber and there's a barber who's a $60 barber, and essentially the haircuts are really, the difference between them isn't that much noticeable. But what you're paying for the $60 haircut is you're paying for that barber's experience. Maybe that guy's been cutting hair for 25 years. You're paying for maybe the atmosphere. Maybe that barbershop is a little nicer. They'll give you, a coffee when you walk in, or they'll know you by name, or they'll have, nicer decor. Maybe the barber himself has a better demeanor with his customers, so he's chatting with you. Or maybe it's opposite. Maybe he doesn't say a word. You like that? You don't want to have anybody talk to you? It's great. Regardless, you're paying for that value and that experience. And one of the most important parts of that is the reputation of the barber. Chances are, when you go to a barber shop that you see for $10, you're going to think to yourself, that's not a very good barber. But if you see a $60 barber and he is charging that amount for a haircut, you're going to do a little research and you're going to see if he's got some good reviews, if there's any referrals, and chances are good that if that barber is charging more, he has a great reputation. So when you're doing your pricing, just remember to think about your experience, your expertise, your education, okay, your references, your testimonials. That will help you create more of a whole package. So now that leads me to justifying your prices to your potential customers, because I get it all the time. Whoa, that's expensive. Or, oh, well, is there anything you can do about that? Or, wow, you're more expensive than the other guy. So if I'm doing a website, for X amount of dollars, and a guy says to me, well, I can get it done for a tenth of the price. Well, yeah, you can get it done for a tenth of the price, but it's probably going to be tenth of as good as mine. For example, is that person backing it up with a full year of maintenance, a full year of protection, a full year of updates? Is that person going to do 2 or 3 reviews with you when you're doing your website? Is that person going to do it in a timeline that you agreed upon? Is that person going to be using only recognized themes, for example, for WordPress, and plugins that are paid plugins, or there's not going to be any kind of hacking risk in there? There's so many different aspects, and it's like with your customers. You have to justify your pricing. We have lots of customers of mine that have businesses that I know they're the best at. Like, I know we have a company that does some, animal services. They will help with regards to some animal control, pretty much across the province or close to it. I know that they are the best with it. We have an HVAC company. I know that their service and that their expertise, from spending time with them, that they're the best. That's where you have to take your message to your customer. Look, you came to us because you wanted this product or this service. Here is the pricing that I'm offering you on that product or service. We are the best, and here's why you should only expect the best from that product. It could be anything else. Like I said, show your experience, show your education. If you have credentials, show them on there. Definitely put testimonials on your website. Make sure people know how great you are. Usually referrals, of course, word of mouth is the best kind of business to get because it's the most reliable and people trust people that they know. Get that sort of thing going for your business so that way you can show to your potential customers, hey, I know I'm charging you a price that is maybe a little bit higher than you expected, but here's the benefits that you're going to get from it. And one of those benefits, again, is the return on investment. So if, for example, I'm getting a house renovated with maybe one of my clients that do house renovating services, I know for a fact that I'm going to get not only a great experience from that renovation happening, and if anybody's been through renovation, you know how horrible they can be, but I know that I'm going to be winding up getting the best materials, quality service, craftsmanship, guarantee of results. Plus, I know that the ROI on that, the renovation that I'm going to spend, I know I'm going to get a benefit out of that investment in the long run, whether it's enjoyment of my home or whether it's flipping that home later on to make a profit. Either which way, if you can show to your customers the potential ROI, if they say, for example, hey, I'm going to spend $10,000 on a website with me, but we're going to turn that website into a great website where a user can go through it quickly. A user will more than likely reach out and contact you or buy your product. I'm sure that they can see then that the return on investment is going to be there. I was reading a study once where they had asked some business owners about why they would never go into business with somebody, or what was the main factor for not choosing one company over another when they were, offering tenders or something, and 17% said price. That means 83% of the other respondents had something else or another reason as to why they weren't going to do business. So don't ever think that your price is too high. Now, on the flip side, you can make your price too high. If you're looking to gouge, if you're looking to get into a market where you're trying to, just get as much revenue in as quickly as possible, so that way you can, fluff up your numbers, that's not going to work. You do not want to price gouge. You do not want to price yourself too high. First of all, you could price yourself way too high out of the market. The other thing too is the expectation of quality is there, and if you do not have that quality, if you're just gouging, then you're going to start paying the consequences for that through refunds, through complaints, through bad reviews, which is then only going to hurt you down the road when you try to get other business. So there you have it, some stuff about pricing that you might want to keep in mind next time you're setting your pricing or raising your pricing or doing anything with regards to prices for your customers. If you like this video, remember to hit that subscribe link before, hit that notification bell so you get notified when we post a new video, which we do on a regular basis. And in the meantime, check out this video. You'll find some great digital marketing strategies that you can use for your business today.